So that is the teeth done. Clean bill of health from the horsey dentist. Well done. Well done. Why the long face? Ha 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 ha. Ah, so funny. Right, back to metal detecting. We are back on the fields. We've got Lexi, the wonder dog. We've got Marty, we've got Sneaky Pete. And Lexi's getting a bit excited about metal detecting with the new XP Deus II. And Marty's already started. He's been going for about 20 minutes. He's got a 1p spendable from 1999. He's got a little ring off of a canvas or a tarpaulin, and he's got a button. Looks like it's got a little bit of age to it. It's a 4-hole button. It's probably going to be couple of hundred years old, I would think, and a little scrap of metal. So again, half an hour's worth of metal detecting, and that's pretty good that there are that many finds being brought up by the plough. So it bodes well for what we may still find yet. So we'll give it a few hours, see how we get on. And Martin's just taken my wireless headphones, so he can give them a bash now as well, seeing as I've got a new set. And as I mentioned before, we're back on the XP Deus II. Marty with a Goldmax Power V4, as is Mr. Sneaky Pete. So let's see how we get on. 5 minutes in, and Martin's found a dog lead, which he's just put in his pocket, and I've got a really faint signal here. 94, 95, which based on previous signals was probably tin foil or aluminium, like tin can territory. Marty's been over it with the XP Goldmax, and he also gets a signal that would suggest digging, so let's see what we get. People are going to think this is a setup because sounding much stronger and better now, 97s, 98s. It's a silver coin. Marty was standing here as I turned it over. It is a silver, I think it's another florin. 19 something. Well worn. 19 something, probably going to be George V, I would think. It is George V. George V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. So how about that? 2 hours of metal detecting with the XP Deus II, and I've got a silver coin. I wonder if it was on its edge, because it was a very, very faint signal for a size of coin that it is. And it's 19 something, so it's going to be pre 1928, because I think that's when George V died. You can see the 3 lions of England, the rampant lion of Scotland, and the heart of Ireland, or Hibernia as it was known. So what a start. George V, silver coin, first hole for me. You beauty. A little find for Martin right next to me. One of these really annoying tomback buttons that look like silver milled coins, but on the other side you can see the loop. This will probably date to the reign of George III, 1760 through to about 1820. And these are the ones that they added arsenic to. It's a zinc and copper alloy, which was called tomback, hence the name tomback buttons. But it's a find, and it's from the Georgian period, 1760 to 1820. Still buzzing about that silver coin that I got just 20 seconds ago. So over the moon with that. Lexi, you're a lucky charm. Martin's in with a signal here. I checked it came off at 64 and was shown as non-ferrous. Quite a consistent signal. What you got? You know what that is? That's a Roman fibula.
Is it?
Aye.
No way.
That's a Roman brooch. That's a dolphin brooch. Bloody hell. We've had a few of these off the field over the years, but we've not had one for, God, a long time. 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe. So that's a dolphin brooch, would have been much longer. It's almost shaped like an elephant's trunk, would have come away down to where my thumb is. Would have had a spring mechanism in the back, which is where that gouged out curved area is, and then there would have been a pin that went all the way down to a catch plate at the bottom, and you would have worn it on your toga or your tunic to hold it all together. That's probably going to be 1st or 2nd century. The newly ploughed fields are coming up trumps. That's tremendous. We've discovered that the farmer's going to be planting potatoes in this field this year, which will be the first time in 4 or 5 years. So it's had a really, really deep plough, about 2 foot. The plough's gone through it, and then it'll be furrowed up for putting potatoes, or spuds as we call them, or tatties, into. But clearly it's bringing some stuff up from a lot deeper down, and Lexi always brings us good luck. Right, we've got another good signal here, or high tones or high numbers, if I can find it. There, 91, 92. Martin's been over it. He reckons it might be a can. I'm inclined to think the same, but let's give it a go. Okay, we're out the hole. It's saying 94 now it's out. No obvious big signs of a tin can. That it? Nope. That it? Nope. Oh ho! That's it. We have got another coin. Or a button. It's a coin, definitely a coin. Right. We've got a coin, probably Georgian by the looks of it, but we'll give it a wee rub-a-dub, see if we can get any detail. Well, the XP Deus II has done it again. We've got another coin. Now the question is that Roman or is that Georgian? What do you think? It's sort of a bit thin on the edge. It's well gone on the back. Almost looks like the shape of Britannia there, doesn't it? Seated. But that head almost looks a bit Romanesque to me. It could be one of the Georges, I suppose. It could be George the First or George the Third. It's a very unusual shaped coin. It's a bit uneven, which would tell me if it is going to be Georgian, it's going to be George the First. That would be 1714 to 1727 or thereabouts. The first of the Hanoverian kings. And if it's Roman, then that could be like 1st or 2nd century. But it's definitely got the shape of a Roman coin. Just unsure about the head. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Well, it's early days for the XP Deus II, and so far, so good. Absolutely brilliant start. I have to give a little shout out to the Dukes of Derbyshire and also to Grif-finds. I actually met Grif-finds. I'm sure I met the son. Is it Henry? I'm sure I met him at Detectorist in the Finds tent when I found my quarter gold noble. He was with Paddy Detects, if I remember rightly, and had a brief chat with the two of them. But the Dukes of Derbyshire and Grif-finds, especially Grif-finds, I have to say, has put out some amazing tuition videos, just little short 2, 3, 4, 5 minute, how to vary the settings, the tones, the ground grab, discrimination and all the rest of it. And for the last 3 months or so, I've been watching them, every single video, intently, to get as much idea of how these machines work as possible, and it certainly seems to be paying off. So well done, Lexi. Right, I had a 39/40 here. Marty reckons could be a wee Roman with the XP Gold Max, we'll give it a bash and see what we can get. Or was it about there? A wee bit further, about there. Right, you want to scan that for me? I'll do a wee live dig. Nope, I might have missed it. A wee bit further over maybe. Right, out the hole. Get the old Garrett carrot out. So you can get the XP Deus. Tin foil. I was going to say, you can get the XP Deus pinpointer, which works wirelessly and connects with your probe. Detects with your machine and goes through the headphones. But maybe that's one for another day. But back on the old tin foil. Oh well, so we know for next time that sort of sound might mean foil. What a day! Martin's on the silver. He's got a hammered silver coin. Going to need a little bit of a clean up. I managed to get a chance. I was quite close, so I went over it with my coil with the XP Deus II. It was reading 74, solid 74. Never flinched. It was very faint, so I don't know whether it was possibly on its edge. But Martin is in with a hammered silver, so we'll give it a clean up and see if we can get any detail of it. Martin's popped himself down to the river and given the coin a little wash. It's a bit worn, a bit damaged, wee broken edge as well, but you can see a crown, you can see a profile looking to the left hand side, and we've had this coin before, several in fact. The Latin around the edge, I think this part here it would say Eliz, then it would say Rosa, R-O-S-A, Sin or Sign, S-I-N, and then I'm sure it would say Spina, S-P-I-N-A if I remember rightly, and that in English translated would say Elizabeth, a rose without a thorn. So this is Elizabeth the First. I think that's a dot just there, or what's left of a dot. There would have been two side by side, so that would mean this is a 2p or half a groat being 4p. On the reverse, you've got a shield, and in the four quarters of the shield, top right and bottom left, you've got the three lions of England. Bottom right and top left, you have got the three fleurs-de-lis of France, because the English and later the British kings used to claim sovereignty over France as well, way back from the middle half of the 1300s, Edward I, right through until the French Revolution in the late 1700s. But that is a hammered silver coin, and it's going to probably date to around the sort of I think it was about 1555 she took the throne, 1555, 1560, and she ruled until 1603. She also imprisoned Mary Queen of Scots for 20 years, eventually signing her death warrant in about 1577, 1580s, something like that. But ironically it was Mary Queen of Scots' son James VI who would go on to become James I of England on the death of Elizabeth without children. Brilliant coin. Hammered Roman brooch and silver milled. What a day. And it's not the XP Deus II that's finding it all. Martin's just got a wee eyes only find now. Swan and Co. No, Swan Inc.
Maybe Todd and Co.
Maybe Todd and Co. Maybe, what does it say? Maybe M-A-B-I-E. Maybe Todd and Co. Limited. And it's Swan Inc. And I'm guessing there was probably some sort of design in the centre. He said I look online, 1860s. So it's a little ink jar or ink pot. Just a shame it's got that wee tiny bit of damage on the corner, but otherwise it's in pretty much perfect condition. So there you go. We've been walking over this field for 20 odd years and still the stuff keeps coming. I think it's good that there's potatoes going in here because it's had an extra deep plough. Brought lots of stuff to the top.